All right, we've got everything measured out. It's 36 feet, edge to edge. We're going 10 feet out from the wall for a post, and 12-foot edge for the cement. That way I can have a little bit of an overhang. Actually, I think I might move these out 6 inches. Anyway, we're in the ballpark, and I'll get it all dialed in exactly. I'll drive the mini excavator over and scoop out a hole and drop it and get it down, and I'll back up, scoop out a hole, drop it, and same thing all the way back, and I'll just back right off. Try and disturb this as little as possible, set all the junk out here, and then I'll bring this, I'm renting a skid steer too, I'll bring the skid steer through, clear all that, throw it over there, and then all right, today I'm running the mini excavator, digging the footings for the back patio. So I've got this guy, and if I remember how to run it, I rented it 2 years ago, something like it. That was the first time I'd run one. It wasn't too hard, but I've got to move some things around so I can slip in there and dig those holes and slip out. Hopefully I can do that in just a few hours. Save some money returning it early. My wife grabbed the paint for the house. That's a lot of stinking paint. Whew. I told her she should bid that out, have somebody else paint it. She wants to do it herself, so. There we go, mini excavator. All right, so I did a time lapse, but the sun was behind me, so I don't know how good it is, but here's the holes. 3 feet deep on center, 3 feet deep on center. I mean, at the crosshairs, 10 feet out from the wall and 8 feet from each other. So I think that took me less than an hour. $500 rental, unless they knock some off because I take it back early. Sometimes they'll knock off a couple $100. I might go ahead and dig the footings for my greenhouse for next spring. Maybe I'll do that real quick. Alright, so I swapped out the mini excavator for the skid steer. So round 2 of the skid steer. I had it the other day. I dug out 6 small footings for my greenhouse. Might not make any sense, but my plan is to have footings and then just a perimeter cement base with rebar in it. A little more oomph than just setting on the ground, but not 3 feet down like true footing should be around here with our frost line down at 3 feet. I just wanted something to kind of hold it in place and stop it from just rising and falling too much. All right, I've cleared out all my piles. I have a little debris here, but I'll probably just throw that in with road base. So I'm gonna set road base here. I'm gonna pour it in here and tamp it. Probably mix in some water too. Just get it really solid. Then I'll set a base and stem up. And then I'll start piling in around it till I feel like it's really till it's really fixed in place. Oh, first I need to reset my stakes here. 10 feet out. I just had my wife help me snap a chalk line so we know the height. 1 inch below the vents. And then we'll, I can play off that for keep my slope out. And then I'll get a 10 foot string line set up out here. Fun. All right, so with the 19-inch bell and a 21-inch piece of sono, that puts me at 40 inches. And I'll probably have 36 in the ground, and then I'll probably cut off the top 4 and let the cement just ride over for 40 inches below my frost. All right, we've got the first 2 roughly set. Well, not roughly, they're set. And as soon as I have somebody here to help hold them, just keep a grip on them, I'll start dumping. And I think I'm gonna tape something over so I can just dump right on top. Trying to tamp as I go, every foot or so, or 6 inches or so. So I'm just gonna keep working my way across. I'm shoveling in by hand the first layers, and then I'm starting to dump in after that. So just crossing, I'm playing off my 2 foot dots there, or that's 2 feet, and then it's every 8 feet, and then 2 foot overhang over there. And I'm keeping it 10 feet to center off the house, and then 2 feet, 8 feet to center, 8 feet to center. So anyway, there we go. Round 3. I have what I hope is the finished grade. I just took a board and set it next to each one of these and ran it off the chalk line and raised it and lowered it and got it close to level and estimated from there. So when I set my forms, I'll truly know where I'm at, but I should be pretty close. So now I'm gonna run the compactor over it. This one, the whole unit, I had set a little bit lower just because I had dug it deeper by accident. And the others, as it turned out, were pretty close. And so, anyway, so we're pretty close to being dead on, and now I'm gonna run the She's compacted. Went over it 8 or 10 times for quite a while. Let's This is solid as she's gonna get, I think. So now, the reason I like doing that compacted subsurface is I get it close, even though it was a couple inches off here and a half inch there. That way I can set these easily, and then with my chalk line and a board coming off of it and these in place, and a level, I can get the finish grade pretty close. And I raked and raked and raked and shoveled and shoveled and raked and got it. So I'll set the forms in a day or two, and then I'll know exactly where I'm at for depth, and I think I'll be right on. And then if I don't need to add anything or subtract anything, then I'll cut these to level with the ground. And then I'll have marked on the forms, those stakes marked my 10 inches out. I think that one's a little bit off. I'll have to adjust that stake. And then we'll set a string line, and then we'll take our bases, our big 6x6 bases with the post, and settle them into place and get them level and in a perfect straight line. And that way the cement you'll just see a patio with those stems and the base sticking out, and then the beams will come down. On the one I did over there, I poured these first, and then they stuck up, and we poured the patio around them. And I mean, it's okay to do that, but it's not a nice, pretty finished look. And I didn't care about the pretty finished look. I just didn't want to have to pay extra for a small pour to do these, and I didn't want to mix them by hand. We did that over there, and it took all day to mix like 80 bags of cement, me and my boys. And I'm alone, so. All right, looks good. Now I'm gonna go over and spread some of the base and get the driveway set. I wanted to do this today too. I'm a little bit nervous that I'm gonna have to wheelbarrow over road base to set this just right. Yeah. Because I gotta return this thing early tomorrow morning. These guys are awesome. One thing I wanted to quickly mention is, if you were looking at the boards on the ends, those aren't set to, I mean, obviously that's not set to the top of my chalk line. Those were simply to give me 2 edges so I can measure off that were even with the house. They're not set to level or anything, so it's visually deceiving. Anyway.